Welcome back to the channel. Today we're just outside Frankfurt on a golf course. We are at the 7th electric vehicle to launch in Europe for BYD. This will be the 4th in Ireland. We've got the Atto 3, the Dolphin and the Seal. And in Europe then you also have an electric Seal U, you have the Han and the Tang. But today we're looking at the sporty coupe SUV. Big range, good power, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. We're going to have a look around the outside. We would have seen it already at the Paris Motor Show. We're going to have a look around the inside and we're going to take it out for a drive on those unrestricted Autobahns. So let's get started. Starting off at the front, you have that distinctive Ocean Series nose that we would have seen on the Seal. And this is part of that Ocean Series with that design language. You have those daytime running lights that come down along here, and then you've got the U headlights is what they're calling it, and you've got your different modules inside there. So you can see it saying BYD Tech inside there. It's kind of a gorgeous kind of silvery blue metallic. Comes in 4 colors: a grey, this one, a black and a white. Some gloss black on that styling elements down along, and you have some air curtaining down along the side, and you've got that X motif on the front, which again we would have seen in the BYD Seal. Some matte black as well as gloss black. You've got some silver down here as well. You've got your 360-degree camera, your BYD logo up here. Yeah, this one has the lights on at the moment here, so you're going to hear a small bit of buzzing down. It does have a frunk. I'm going to open that up for you now. There it is. So big enough for like a carry-on suitcase, or big enough for your charging panels. Oh yeah, that's actually very deep. So you would get a carry-on suitcase there. Good size. And everything else closed off except for the water bottle that if you need it. It is frunk-wise, you are talking 58 litres. That's a really good size frunk. Single clasp and a double strut down either side, and that's where your water bottle is filled up. Down along the side then you've got your scuff wheel arches in that kind of square but in that matte grey. You've got 20-inch wheels with the red brake calipers, and they are 245/45 20s, and you've got that bodywork actually moulded around the shape of the wheel arch as well. BYD design, little flag on it, body coloured A-pillar that goes all the way along that roofline. They're not trying to hide the height of it. It is what it is. And then you've got those glass black B-pillars, and then that C-pillar here with some glass black that brings it down. So kind of that, again, that floating roof design on that C-pillar we're seeing a lot of. Large door mirrors, body coloured on the top. We've got the NFC. There's 4 ways of getting into this car. NFC on your phone or your wearable, or 2. Then you've got the key fob, and then there's a card as well. Glass black, 360-degree camera. Nice little crease there. They call it that double because you've got your shoulder line, and then you've got that, it kind of kicks out. Flush door handles with BYD, and your keyless entry, keyless start. And then you've got that matte black down along the bottom with that silver trim, chrome trim, which you'd think you wouldn't see much more of nowadays, but you are seeing a bit of it. Dimensions wise, it has it's 4.83 meters long. It's 30 millimeters longer than a Seal, and its wheelbase is 2.93 meters, and it's 160 millimeters taller than a Seal. So 4.83 meters long, 1.925 millimeters wide, and 1.62 meters tall. Based on that platform 3.0 that we would have seen in the Seal with that BYD Blade battery. The colour names, just if you want it: Atlantis Grey, which is this one, which is that bluey. Sorry, Atlantis Grey is the grey one. Indigo Grey, Polar White, and Space Black. Down at the back, then you've got a double spoiler system. You've got that wing spoiler at the top with the high-level brake lamp, and then that brings the air down and it kicks it up over this little ducktail spoiler here. These lovely water droplet taillights that we would have seen on the Seal, again, would have come from that Ocean X concept. Doesn't have a rear wiper, but it does have cameras, etc. Some markets, this BYD badging in the rear is in red, as in like a taillight. You've got the all-wheel drive version here today, which is the top trim. BYD, it is the top trim in the all-wheel drive version. There is a medium trim in all-wheel drive as well. And you've got the 4.5 seconds down here. Power tail lift. And as well as that, then you've got that continuation of that chrome line down at the bottom here with that matte grey, black with the parking sensors, etc. Decent sized boot, over 500 litres. You would have 520 litres, and then with the seats down, it's 1,780. So we're going to knock down the seats now, but you can see this has the 12-speaker Dyne audio. There's your subwoofer in the boot. And you've got your roof. We push up this bag here and see what we can get. It's got a BYD boot liner, roof liner, I was saying. It's got a bit of matte grey, and then there's more storage in underneath there, but too much bags in there. Tie-off points, LED light. Then you've got your, over here you've got your storage. And then let's lock down those seats. Kind of reaching from the rear. Oh, there's obviously different angles. And then one more, and one more. There we go. That's one done. And then the other one we'll have to do it from the side. A bit easier this way. 60-40 split. And it has that nice carpeted area, so it's nearly flat. This one goes down as well. Good size. Yeah, and substantial seats as well. And then clip it and then pop it back. So that is position number one. Good size door opening as well, actually. And it has a multiple, there's a ratcheted system there where you can have it all the way back, so you can adjust it. That's the boot. It's got that cover there as well. And then on this side, we pop this fella up as well. They lock down, which is good. You have to pull that to release it up. Now the seat belts are getting caught when you bring it up, so sometimes they're a bit tidier held in here. That's all soft touch there. Yeah, scuff plate. And on the boot release then you have a close and also close to lock. Running around to the charging rear left-hand side, right-hand side. You've got the BYD 3366.99. You've got that actual physical. That's good to have it. And so charging then you're talking 11 kilowatt on AC. And then on the upper level trim it is the Excellence 230 kilowatt. That's going to take you 10 to 80% in 24 minutes. And then the Comfort and Design trim, it's 150 kilowatts because they have a different size battery. It's an LFP battery, which they're known for, has that pierced puncture test that they do with the nail. So the rear wheel drive comfort spec and an all-wheel drive design, they come with an 82.5 kilowatt battery, and that's a single motor version, WLTP of 482, while the two motor design all-wheel drive, which we have here today, has a WLTP of over 502. That's the Excellence, which at 91.3 kilowatt hour pack. So stronger performance and a bigger battery. So 502 WLTP. They do sometimes under promise and then over deliver. They definitely do that with their 0 to 100. So different charging speeds depending on the trim and the battery sizes, but 10 to 80% in or around that 30 minutes, which seems to be a bit of a benchmark that we're doing there. Just drove this, set up this shot, so that seat is set for me. How far down do the windows go? All the way. And it's got some interesting design on the handles. And then you've got your Danish Dyne audio with your good sized door pin. Yeah, it's nice. And this is what we were needing from BYD, is a larger SUV. We had the Atto 3. You've got your twin holders for your devices and then a larger one. Nice. Seats are gorgeous. Always BYD do nice seats. And you've got heated and two-stage in the outer seats. You've got your power point here, your two USB Type-Cs, totally flat floor. So feet, they're in underneath me. Lots. And then headroom. Ooh. Yeah, even with that panoramic sunroof, again, it's the largest in its class, 2.1 square meters. And the beauty of it is it has a mechanical blind if you don't want that. Lovely headrests in the center. And then in the middle, you have little device area here. And then your cup holders. Kind of spring loaded. Nice to see it. Very good. That's the rear of the BYD Atto 3. And then in the front, a few less people around today than there was at the launch in Paris. On the door you have your retractable door mirrors, you've got the adjustment on them, center locking, your 4 windows, and then your child lock left and right, you can separate that out. That nice handle there. And then you've got some like silver carbon fibre that goes around the dash. And you've got some nice stitching. Everything feels nice, good quality. Bit of Alcantara up in this upper handle center section here. Your GSR 2 sensor, Dyne Audio tweeters. This with the upper level trim has that head-up display. 10.25 inch driver. Lots going on here. Probably a bit too much, but I know you can minimize it down as to what you're looking for. Left hand side is lights and indicators. Right hand side is wipers. Then you've got some nice buttons on the steering wheel. BYD Napa leather. Yeah, it's nice. Nice shapes, kind of mirroring the outside with that X design on it then as well. Flat bottom. You've got your 14.6 inch screen, really sure. And then you can have the ability of rotating that as well vertically, which is the BYD party piece. So everything would spin around then as well. Like that for the driving, navigation, etc. Large black panel, and here you can see it has some ambient lighting in it depending on, and it's animating there. You can see it coming and going. And so you can change, there's 128 ambient light colours in it. That carbon fibre kind of effect metal work goes all the way over, and you can see then that gorgeous sculpting. So very natural shapes, again following that ocean design, and you can see those gorgeous one-piece seats here, really nice. And there's Isofix in the front as well, so 3 in total around the car. On the centre console you've got a 50-watt charging with some ventilation, and then just the NFC card reader beside it. So one of them, you've got some buttons down here, hazard, parking sensors, automatic handbrake. Then you've got your auto on the, this is kind of like a shortcut for the climate control, rear demister on off it all together. Then your start stop button, what modes you want it in, high, standard, oh that's the regen actually, is it? And then handbrake parking, they're the modes actually. And then your volume up and down and off for the radio. You've got your bottle holders, and what I like about these is it is multiple levels, so the actual holder will come all the way up, and then depending on what, so some cars when you're driving along the bottles go flying, but you can push that all the way down if you want to. And a large glove box, or sorry, large box on the center console, and you've got some charging spaces in, or sorry, some spaces and some charging in underneath here. You've got your USB type C's on both, and on the other side you've got a 12 volt. Good size on the left hand drive glove box anyway. Hopefully we'll get that on the right hand drive as well. And you can see because we've got that large, so you can all the different shortcut buttons. So let me bring back that to portrait again, sorry, landscape. And let's go back to home. So Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, but it has that Qualcomm chip in it, so everything is super snappy. And I said it has that rendering of the car as well. So when I open the door, it actually opens it on the screen, and you can interact with it as well. So you can hold it down, and that'll open the boot from the front, or the blind, and you can bring the blind up or down depending on left or right. Close, tap to stop, so you can stop it midway back wherever you want it, and open. You can do that again. So then can I close the boot? It knows that it's open, so we're going to click that one and then close. Very good. Nice to be able to control stuff from the top here if you've got people coming and going. Heated seats, ventilated seats, child locks, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, nice. And then the apps are there. And so you have your Apple CarPlay, your Android Auto, your Spotify, your karaoke. I haven't had a microphone in any of the BYDs that I've had in the past. Head unit, you've got your SOS, your reading, etc. And then you have a nice big wing mirror, door mirror, rear view mirror. I'll get it right eventually. Headroom for me, yeah, loads, like even up to the roof, 3 or 4, like. What else have I got stats wise? We have got some driving stuff, but I leave that when I'm driving outside. So we've got the head-up display on the Excellence trim, which we're in today. 15.6-inch screen is what it is, not 14. So for those already jumped into the comments, fair play to you. Laminated glass as well, so super quiet. We were driving over, one of the other journalists drove over to this location, and I'll drive now afterwards. So let me just go through what I was saying about the different versions and batteries. So there's 2 battery sizes in Ireland and 3 different trims: Comfort, Design and Excellence. The Comfort and the Design trims come in 82.5 kilowatt hour, and they come in rear wheel drive or all wheel drive. So Comfort is the entry level, and then Design is the all wheel drive. Both have that 82.5 kilowatt hour battery, and so the range is either 480 or 482 or 456. Lots of figures trying to remember today. It's been a long weekend with the Nevo show at Sunday. Range topping Excellence is all-wheel drive, and it has a larger battery, 91.3. So I know in some of the markets, I've watched some of the Australian reviews, and you've slightly different trim levels and slightly different battery sizes, and that will give you 502. Both of those then, the entry and the mid-range, will give you 150 kilowatt charging, and then the top level trim will give you 230 kilowatt charging, 24 minutes or 32 minutes, so in around that half an hour. Lots of talking, lots of inside and outside. Hopefully that's clear. Let's take it out for a drive. What's it like driving the Sealion 7? Push button start, and then it is super quiet. Acoustic glass in the front, but also in the door glass. You've got the double pane. Visibility, you've got that head-up display unit nice and clear in front of you. Large door mirrors with blind spot from the middle level trim up. Lovely steering wheel, and it is heated, and the seats are gorgeous, heated and cooled as well. Lots of beeps and bongs, so that is, I'm gone over the 30 km/h speed limit here, but not a great road on the way into this golf club. And it's able to take it up, soak it up. Yeah, no problem at all. You saw the size of the brakes on that walk around outside. And for this kind of power, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.5 seconds. And they said that was a under promise, and they can be over delivered upon. And so that is, they're saying that when they were here, they got it down to 4 themselves on the Autobahn. I'm not going to be able to try that today, but when we get it back to Ireland, absolutely. But I just wanted to bring it on these rougher roads and then take it up on the Autobahn for a little spin. Yeah. Visibility at the back, because it has that sloping roof line, it is definitely a letterbox. But with the indication, you do have blind spot view, and you'll hopefully see it when I do it here. And then over this side. I'll say so if you're doing one or the other. Okay. You can put them away. Let's head over to the Autobahn and see what's that like. The only thing I can actually really hear, everything's super quiet, is my phone is charging. And there's a little fan underneath the phone. And that was making a bit of noise. The actual fan was the loudest thing in the car. Okay. Let's bring up navigation. Keep eyes on the road. So the General Safety Regulation 2 driver monitor was looking at me there, making sure that I was watching what I was doing on the road. Some stats before we hit the Autobahn. The Comfort version of the Sealion 7 can reach 0 to 100 in 6.7, and this Excellence version can do it in 4.5. Top speed of 215 kilometers an hour, or 205 depending on the trim. On the rear axle, it's a 230 kilowatt motor, giving 380 newton meters of torque. And then the design all-wheel drive and the Excellence all-wheel drive editions, when you put the second motor on the front, that adds an extra 160 kilowatt motor to the front axle and giving you an output total of 690 newton meters of torque. The Sealion 7 also has the iTAC system, which is offered in all-wheel drive versions. It works by intelligently allocating torque, using torque shift, reducing torque, and even applying negative torque to boost stability. So it's all about how stable it can make the car. The Sealion 7 rear motor can run at speeds of up to 23,000 revolutions per minute, making it the world's fastest electric motor in mass production. Here on the unrestricted part of the Autobahn, we're at 110 kilometers an hour, super quiet, super smooth. Has selected frequency dampeners, I believe, as well, so suspension is nicely weighted. The power is there, like it's when you need it, but it's not. They've mapped the torque lovely on it. 130. $140. Yeah, keeps going. 160. 170. 180. 190. 200 kilometers an hour. 205. 210. Glued to the road. 212, 213, 214, 215, 220, 225, limited. 225 on the Autobahn. I don't even want to look at the consumption figures. Jumping in here because I actually wanted to show you the efficiency on the car after doing the 250 kilometer an hour on the Autobahn. And so you can see here, it is, if I can bring it down a bit, 32.1 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers over the last 50 kilometers. And so that was at 250. So at that rate, with that battery, you could potentially go, it always does that when I zoom it back in, you would be able to do around 300 kilometers, top speed, 225 kilometers an hour. Also at the presentation this morning, we got German prices. And so German prices are starting at, if I can pull up my phone. We're also looking up to see German prices today, and for the comfort trim, 47,999. The design all-wheel drive, 53,999. And then the excellent all-wheel drive with that 502 kilometer range, 0 to 104.5 seconds, the one I'm driving today, 58,999. So serious competition to the likes of the Tesla Model Y performance. Yeah. And some of the VW Group GTXs, etc. It's going to be exciting times. Let's go back to the Autobahn. Looking forward to getting this back to do coast to coast in Ireland. Really excited that fact that we have a proper sized SUV. I know the Atto 3 is nice for some people, but people want a larger one. And best-selling EV in Ireland is the ID4. This has got this in its crosshairs, the ID5. It's also got it in the crosshairs, that kind of, this D-segment SUV. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you leave a comment, that'd be great. It helps the engagement. Like the video, share the video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to enjoy the next video too.